I hope that you're already feeling full of yourselves. I know I am. Maybe even a touch arrogant, but that's okay. I know that all of us are good, humble people, and we are not always that arrogant. So sometimes it's okay. It's a treat, right? Welcome in. I have felt this new moon, this Leo energy building for the last few days, and it has helped me just push through so many obstacles and challenges, get so many things done. It like lent itself even to like the waning energy of last moon cycle. So I'm just already feeling it. And so what I suggest that we do is really set our intentions today. We don't have to take any action today. It's the new moon. And so it went new officially at I think 1 in the afternoon Central Time and 2 Eastern Time, I believe. I may be wrong about the time, but I think that that's correct. So, you know, for the rest of the day, we can sit with our thoughts and ruminate on what we really want to set as our intentions and what we are trying to build and create and call in over the next couple of weeks during the waxing phase of the moon, where the moon gathers light. It's also gathering energy and, you know, light of creation power. So take all the energy and focus it into actions, thoughts, words, habits, patterns, structures, schedules that are in alignment with what you want to create, right? And try not to expend your energy in a lot of other erratic ways that aren't really in alignment with the things that you are really valuing at the moment. And just get yourself, you know, some momentum going, right? This doesn't have to be forever, but, you know, just cut some things out to focus your energy on for now to get started. Because we are really, for the first moment this year, starting to feel what it feels like to be in this like brand new cycle, in this new chapter, in like the sequel from the last movie of our lives. Like, this is a new story. We back, right? But now it's like we've learned so much and we've grown so much, we've changed so much, and we now are so much more than we were. And we've also offloaded so much recently and created all of this space. So it's like we're starting to have to try to learn again in all these different ways, like who we are now. Think of someone who has like long-term amnesia and they have to like learn how to be a person again. And then maybe they remember themselves and they're like, oh my God, that's so weird. Well, we're sort of like relearning how to be this new version of ourselves that our higher self knows how to be, you know, the self-realized version, but we've never lived this yet. So it's kind of familiar. It's like we're remembering how to be this way through amnesia, but it's coming through in like little slivers and things. So we talked about recently how we are the vessel and we are wanting to receive the light of the Creator, and we create vessels through the things that we speak and the things that we do and the actions that we take and the way we show up. So the way we show up is is what creates the ability to receive the light into the vessel. But if we don't show up and we make empty promises and we don't show up for the things that we want to do for ourselves, then we speak in vain, and that creates empty vessels that are open for chaos, right? And the influence of darkness to fill the vessel. So then that results in random chaos in our lives and things going, you know, wrong. You're like, why are all these things happening and stuff? So it's like, watch your words, watch what you're saying, make sure that you're showing up with integrity, to not overcommit yourself or to say you'll do something then when it's not really in alignment for you. Just have the confidence, Leo, and the self-worth and the self-assuredness to be able to say, you know, it's okay if I can say, you know what, I'll think about it. It has to be a maybe. I'll do my best. Things like that say, maybe I'll try. If you know it's a no, maybe it's just a no, I can't do that. You know, like I'm sorry, that won't work out this time. And so for some of us, that's very difficult. For some of people, it's too easy and you need to like put yourself out and do a little more for others. But it's all about like, what is your natural, like comfortable resting place? You're kind of want to push yourself out of the comfort zone. All right. So we are moving into this new cycle, and astrologically what is happening is today is this new moon in Leo. So we are planting seeds as this new person in this new life. And we are figuring out this new sense of self again, and this self-discovery we're going on in this new journey. The hero sets out again, and that means that we're going to be setting out in a new level on our inward journey as well. Having new levels of opponent and challenges within our, day-to-day, but within our emotional landscape, within our spiritual challenges, within our soul growth. So got to be ready for that. So it's important to like take your time and don't reactively try to fill that vessel just to fill the void, right? We want to hold the space and wait for what's really in alignment, because if we try to fill it with whatever in a reactive way, that will cause chaos. And if we don't watch ourselves, the ego can fill it with some chaos as well. So try to, in this up level, don't let yourself become arrogant, right? Sweeten that confidence with kindness and humility, right? We're not being overconfident, we're being courageous and we're brave, but we're not being we're not being reckless, we're not being presuming, we're not being boorish or brash, right? So we're trying to make these things balanced virtues and not go too far, overcorrect, because then they become vices again. I caught some of Chris Corsini's New Moon talk, and what stood out to me, what that was like the most like poignant statement was when he pointed out that in the astrology of today, we're doing that work of planting those new moon seeds for that was the other thing. So we're planting the new moon seeds in Leo, and we have like our new sense of self that we're talking about. But also what I was trying to say was that Jupiter's in retrograde in Aries. And so Aries is our sense of self. It rules the first house, which is I, which is me. It's the ego. It's the baby, right? It's self-discovery and who we are. And so Jupiter is going in retrograde, which means it's like, hey, all of this expansion and this timeline of destiny for you, we're not doing that. We're going back and we're recreating something new now. And so it's like we're putting a stop to that old cycle astrologically with Jupiter going retrograde in Aries. And we are starting the new cycle here on the same day, my little fault line here in the coffee table, into our Leo, our new self, our new future. And so Leo is also ruled by the sun. In the tarot, the sun card is this card of like an awakening, a new sense of like a new lease on life, a new take on the world, like you have awakened spiritually. And so you're realizing things that you never saw before. All of these things are coming to the light out of your subconscious. You see the light, finally. You're putting the pieces together and you're able to move forward and now integrate all the things that have led you up to this point of your life up until now. So it's very exciting. The new moon for the rest of the month is going to give us the gifts and the powers of Leo, but only as we overcome the challenges of Leo. And so the challenge and the test of Leo is this month is to try not to make everything all about you. Try not to take things personally. Because think about it, like as the baby, as Aries, like we can, kind of make it all about us and take things too personally and be overly sensitive. So try not to let your ego take over and make it all about you. How are we going to share our light into the world and not make it about us? So how can we use our charisma and our comfort in, like being in the spotlight right now. Like Leo energy is making even shyer people more comfortable being out there. So how are you going to be a light and add, you know, value and bring goodness and, you know, be a channel for the ultimate light, right? And radiate that and be an influence for the good. How are you going to do that? How are you going to make it not about you, but really about being, sharing with others? Not about having destroyer consciousness or taker consciousness, but about what you can offer, what you can give, what value are you bringing? Are you building someone up, or are you sucking energy and taking attention, you know? So think about those things. Being ruled by the sun is always shining and it's always out in the open, and sometimes clouds do obscure it, and sometimes, you know, we're on the other side of earth with our back turned to the sun, but the sun is always radiating an absolute eternal splendor. You know, it's not wavering, it's not fluctuating, and it feels you know, its essence is to shine as bright as possible, and it is for the benefit of all. It's not like second guessing itself about it. It's not being like, maybe I'm being too bright for like the pale people, you know. It's just like, this is me, deal with it, work around me. So the sun may make us feel like comfortable stepping out into the open and feeling safe being seen, maybe for the first time in a long time. So step out, be seen, let yourself be heard, you know, have a healthy sense of pride and pride in your achievements, and, you know, be bold, be confident. So Leo is a fixed fire sign. It's a masculine sign, and it is like the purest masculine energy force, as represented by the fire signs. It is like rearing to go. It is pure, unadulterated, like rah, like dynamism, right? So it needs to be honed in a little bit. In fact, I will take a moment to mention that I'm amuleted out today. I have my golden dawn earrings on my feathers that are the golden color of the sun. They are those Leo themes of confidence and inner self-worth, right? And tuning into that second chakra activation of like willpower and your gut instincts, and not being afraid to like make choices based on those instincts, right? Also, I have on my amulet. What is this? The Ammonite amulet. And the Ammonite amulet is like this Fibonacci spiral, but it's like a sacred shape. And what it does is creates a vortex, and it helps cleanse your energy field while also like bringing in positive energy and like grounding it like a battery bank in your auric field. So I'm like washing away the old cycle right now and bringing in and energizing like my soil, like metaphorically speaking, to plant the seeds of Leo. And then what else do I have on? Oh, I have on a huge quartz point to amplify the whole thing. And I've got it cooled off a little bit with a little bit of aquamarine to kind of temper some of that fiery energy. And I have on my rainbow moonstone ring and some silver metal jewelry. So hopefully that will like be enough feminine energy to balance it out. And then I've got on my lemon romper, which makes me think of lemonade. So I'm trying to cool off some of that Leo fire. Some notes about positive Leo traits. They are generous, loyal, dramatic, outgoing. They're masterful at the things that they put their hands to. They're very dynamic. They're self-aware. They're self-assured. They own the stage. They radiate strength and fortitude. They're very confident. They have a high threshold for pain and adversity, which can also be detrimental to them, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. They have an enormous drive, a desire to succeed. They're born leaders and motivators and inspire others to think and act. Leos are very regal, they're very commanding, they're very intelligent, they're very attractive, and I read this part in, it's a really good astrological, like a really great reference text to have around all the time. I'll try to, maybe I can find it and put it in the show notes. Oh yeah, so they're attractive, but like to the degree that like people who are attracted to them can also be simultaneously threatened by them. Which, think about like sexy ass lions and you're like, oh, that is like a really like attractive cat, but it could like eat me for dinner. Like that's also Leo. I thought that was funny. They're charismatic. And confident. But however, some of the shadow aspects are that they have a seed of doubt within them. And that self-doubt, if it gets fed by the ego, it holds on and it grows into a constant need for reassurance. Leo can be blinded by their pride. They are not always a good judge of people. I do know that Leo wants people to respect them and they will respect others, but that is very important to them. They value respect. Leo's not always a good judge of people. They're overly sensitive to other people's needs, with an overwhelming desire to please, which leads them to deny their own needs so others can benefit. And if you prod them or demand from them, they'll get snappy and it'll strike their temper, but that makes sense because they're probably being defensive because their boundaries have been too weak in that area. In Leo's attempt to people please, they hold themselves back or deny themselves entirely, creating depression. And then, let's see, the seeds of doubt can become self-defeating. But when Leo is in touch with themselves and they recognize their self-worth, their pride will no longer be a source of self-victimization. And they become very strong and secure, and they become a light to themselves and those around them. So Leo energy is really amazing, and it's helping us really take all of these streams that we've been preparing this year and start really putting them out into the universe and following up and having a lot of drive and a lot of willpower. There are cycles, right, through the year. And remember our last cycle that was in a fire sign that I believe it was an Aries moon. It was like fiery energy, really like motivated to get things going. Leo's energy is another chance to have that fiery energy to get things going, but because Leo is fixed, and so Aries energy was cardinal, that's beginning energy, right? We've gone through, fire, water, and air cycles since then. Now we're back to the fire energy at a more mature and advanced level in our journey and in our efforts. So now we're at a fixed place where all of this boost of motivation to really work on things can really start putting into place some like lasting fixed results that can continually grow and be like long-standing and persistent and enduring, right? So good things. Very excited about it. So remember today, our little homework assignment that we've been talking about through the week to prepare. It's going to be after this video. I want you to do some visualization. If you can go for a long walk, that's great. Take a bath or do a meditation, go for a jog, whatever you like to do that helps you get into a state of good visualization. Visualize the things that you are calling in. Rehearse what it's like to be in that state, already having the dream satisfied, already being in it. And really ruminate in the feeling of it and the feeling good and how great it feels and how wonderful it is. And then while you're there, take a look around the details, kind of reverse engineer, look and see what your habits are, what kind of person you are, what kinds of things are you doing, wearing, saying, like who's around you, like what does that look like? Who are you at this point? What do you have to do to reverse engineer to just start that now? Start today, start for the rest of the day, start tomorrow. You can start being that person anytime. We're doing that at a seed level. We don't have to have the pressure of having been that whole mastered end result, it's a journey, right? It's the next journey. So we want to take our time and enjoy every step of the way, but be that version of yourself now in the smallest, simplest way, okay? All right, and then another thing that we were going to do was we are going to take that dream, those goals, we're going to pick like 3 or 4 things that we're going to write down about what we want to call in over the next couple of weeks or start the next phase of, or like see the beginning of. And we're going to commit to taking 3 actions towards those things, not 3 each, but like 3 total. Whatever, just get the ball going over this waxing period, but don't overwhelm yourself, right? So 3 is doable. So we're going to commit to doing those 3 things, and then we're going to come up with a magic phrase that we're going to, it's going to be very concise, it's going to include our vision, it's going to kind of sum it up in one good sentence that makes us feel good, we believe it, like it's easy and like catchy to remember, and we're going to say it to ourselves as often as we can over the next 2 weeks during the waxing period. We're going to think about that phrase, we're going to write it down, and we're going to say it out loud, all right? Those are both very powerful steps. So the writing down makes it material, saying it makes it material, speaking it. But remember, when you create that vessel with your words and your actions, you have to follow up and take action on them, and the light can come in and assist that or bless that effort. But if you say a bunch of stuff and you don't do it, then it opens the vessel for chaos, right? It leaves an empty vessel that is going to be filled by chaos. So just remember, follow up. All right, we're going to do the Celtic Cross with our straightforward oracle, my oracle that I am in the process of creating as we speak. This is a physical issue to overcome. So our current circumstances are really just finding ourselves within this new life, trying to work out what our new routines are going to be. What is it that how do we most valuably focus our time, energy, and resources? And we're really doing that now. Think about your higher self. What is your higher self eating? What time does your higher self get up and go to bed? What kind of fitness and diet plan does your higher self abide by? What kinds of, how clean is your house when your higher self is in charge? Your higher self pays your bills and makes sure that you have enough income coming in. Your higher self is going to follow up on little ideas to do this or that, right? So start taking action. It's about taking all of this internal transformation and putting your money where your mouth is. Put your change and transformation into action in your life so that the inner will start being reflected in your outer. Practical, mundane, body, household, money, diet, sleep habits, physical behaviors, physical 3D world. So yeah, the next couple of weeks is going to be big on taking action and creating this physical, this new physical life and actually doing it. Do what you say you're going to do. Do what you want to do. Do the desire of your heart. Do what is in alignment with your intention and desires. This issue requires 3D world attention. This might be finding a job, working on your resume, or networking. It might mean working more or side hustles or investing in retirement. It might be creating a diet and exercise plan. It might mean getting a coach, a trainer, a teacher, or a counselor. It might be putting yourself out there and talking to people. It might be putting yourself out there and talking to people or dating. Whatever is stuck in your life could be affected by and or affecting other areas. Look at all the areas of your life: personal health, family, friends, work, money, romance, spiritual, hobbies. What needs a boost? Do you do the literal physical work to up level? Okay, so very 3D material assignment over the next couple of weeks is just get to work. What is crossing us? We're facing fears. What's at the basis of this is dishonesty, self-delusion, lying, being lied to, avoiding the truth. So the subconscious has been deceiving us to mask what we've been too afraid to face. And because of that, it has been leading us in these loops and these subconscious patterns that we haven't been seeing up until now. But this new moon right now is causing us to look at the shadow. And also because it is ruled, it's in the phase of Leo right now, which is ruled by the sun, we are having a lot of insights looking deep into the shadow, whereas many times they would be obscured or what is it called when it's been morphed, or not mutated, but like it's been made to look off. I can't think of the word right now, but it's not as it appears to be. So where have you been dishonest with yourself, or where have you been avoiding the truth? Have you been holding back or hiding a part of yourself from the world, from others? What have you been not allowing others to see? What is that fear related to that fear of being like, now you're finally safe to be seen? What was that? What was keeping you like hiding in the shadows? What made you feel like it wasn't safe to come out and show who you were? Or how, was it not safe to have needs or feelings or be seen, you know? So think about that. Stop obsessing. The influence from the past, or the lesson from the past that's still having an effect on us, but that is now dissipating, is things that we obsessed about for so long. It's like, we're not obsessed with that anymore, but like the weight of all of those years of patterning they still have some momentum. So Jupiter is like this huge force trying to like catch it all and keep it in the past. And then Leo is helping try to burn it off as we like try to run and escape what's happening and move forward. So just try to do your best in the middle of those two influences to stop obsessing. Be present in the moment. Get your hands busy, get your feet busy, get your mind busy on some task that doesn't let you be like dwelling on the past or like fretting about the future, right? Get lost in a moment and completely pour yourself into it. That's why you see monks like doing the sand mandalas or like raking those sand gardens and being really particular and careful about it. You know, that's why it's like everything in their mundane can be a holy practice in prayer and meditation. And that's, you know, another theme that came up this week was that, you know, it's really easy to get swallowed up by our mundane lives, but it's also equally easy to bring the sacred into the mundane with our awareness, with our participation in it, with our appreciation. All right, what is crowning us at this moment? What has potential to come through? Needs more planning. So this is a good time to, now that we are like finally starting to feel and sense and become and learn how to be this new person, we're getting clearer on our goals. We've like gotten a lot of other stuff out of the way. So now it's a good time to regroup and like relook at things, reevaluate, say, okay, what's working? What needs more attention? What should I edit and revisit? You know, what needs more efficiency? How can we simplify life, right? To amplify, simplify to amplify. So get whatever it is that you are, you know, trying to manifest or create or pursue right now. Maybe do a little research, and that will spark creative ideas about, you know, maybe steps you still need to take, or parts of your dream that still need planning, so that you can break it down into like doable tasks. You know, sometimes when we have lofty goals, they're so big that we don't know where to start. So we're just like, we procrastinate them. But if we can break down the initial like big first step into like a bunch of small micro steps, then we have more clarity, and it's easier to take on the task and get started because we have some direction, right? So think about that. If you're going to create an outline for your plan of action, right, today would be a great time to do that in your ritualing. But yeah, take the time to plan and give yourself specific, doable, achievable tasks. What is coming around the corner? Balance, saving, and spending. Now is a time to find the Goldilocks zone between miserly penny pinching and lavish spending. Be practical, but not too strict. If an unexpected opportunity or expense comes up, meet it with a sense of abundance. So this is a lighter version of, I think, the Four of Pentacles card, or like there's another card in this deck that's just like, save your money. So this is good. This is like, okay, you kind of gotten things taken care of for the most part. Things are leveled out right now. We're starting to build. So don't undermine your efforts by impulse spending. Don't undermine your efforts by overspending or like buying a bunch of like stocking up on things that you don't need like that much of or whatever. Like, think about it, like what groceries are always going bad in your fridge? You know, what are you always paying for that you're never using? Like, cut that, right? Make the most of what you have. The Creator gives us what we can be responsible with. So make sure that you're open to receiving and that you're not closed off from receiving money because of unconscious beliefs or conflicting desires. And so, you know, once you're like, okay, I'm totally open to receiving money, and the money starts flowing and abundance starts flowing, what are you doing with that money? Are you hoarding it and scared to spend anything? So it's kind of like it kind of starts trickling again. Do you pay your bills on time, or do you forget about that? Do you put money into savings? Do you spend money on a credit card and accrue interest when you don't need to, and you could just like pay off the balance and use cash? Like, are you thinking about refinancing like a credit card? Like, all of those little like things, like, tell money, if money were a person, that you don't respect and value it. And so why is money gonna come give itself to you fully if you're like, first of all, pushing it away, you have a hard time receiving it? Money and love are connected, you know. And if you don't value money when it gets there and you completely disrespect it and throw it away on garbage, right? So think about how you are showing up with your relationship with money and balance that out by, you know, treating yourself in small ways to things that you really value and putting aside savings for your long-term values, which is one of those things should be you, right? All right, what is our subconscious perception, or how is our perception affecting us right now? Find a coach or teacher. More study is needed. Apprentice, enthusiastic student, continued education, training, mastering a skill. So it's what is affecting us right now is that we are beginners again in this new phase of our life. And so the best way to approach this is with a beginner's mind, right? Don't be jaded by your experiences of the past. This is a new cycle. It's a new start. You can be a new person. Things are not going to go the way they did before. They don't have to go the way they did before. They can go better, right? And so be open to learning things from a new perspective, because you don't want to arrive at the same results you did last time. So be open to learning everything in a new way, right? Be an enthusiastic student of life. And I think that that's a good mindset to adopt and be in all the time. But I think that that is going to help us as we move forward, create something that is, you know, truly new for us and a different experience and a more evolved experience. All right, how is our outer world influencing us? How's other people's influence affecting us right now? This is where your soul is calling you. The desire of your soul has a purpose. You are being called toward an experience that can serve to elevate your soul in some way. Whether pleasant or not, you are meant to experience this for your soul's healing or expansion. Trust this urge, explore this path, even if only temporarily. This may not be the thing, but it may greatly contribute to the thing. The process is the purpose. Trust where the soul is calling. what elicits feelings of upliftment and expansion, even a sense of jitters. The soul is leading you outside of your comfort zone so that you can elevate your vibration, so that the rest of your life can level up. You have to be a vibrational match for what you're calling in. So many times an experience can serve to benefit a seemingly unrelated area, but in spirituality and energy, everything is connected. Trust your desires at this time and follow them as long as they are leading you in a healthy direction. Okay, that feels right. It feels right for all of the messages recently and all the energy, the direction it feels like things are going in right now. Ooh, it's getting cloudy outside. I thought I was gonna go for a walk in the woods, but it might be stormy. And then Shabbat came out with that. Holy Sacred Rest Pause, the Cosmic Womb, Rhythms, Introspection, Spiritual Renewal, Sacred Rituals. So the soul is calling you in a direction, and this is really influencing you in your outer world right now. And so in order to connect with that soul calling, be sure to allow yourself that rhythm of the one day a week to really rest and turn inward and to be introspective and spiritual. Unplug from distractions. Really make it a sacred day to really get in touch and listen and connect to divine. Once a week at least. Because that is going to help you connect and make a stronger connection with that soul, with that spiritual voice inside of you that's guiding you. Wishes and fears position. You are abundant! Yay! So much better than some of the other like scarcity cards recently. Act in faith, knowing that what you need will be provided. Your cup runneth over. You have so much to share, cultivate, and enjoy a sense of abundance. That is exciting, people. Let's name it and claim it. We are abundant. Okay, and then what is our probable outcome if we do our best to abide by all of this advice? Bad advice. Okay, so watch out for people giving you bad advice this month. Because when you start getting your shush together and you start doing things differently and showing up in different ways, different than you usually do, sometimes people don't like that. And sometimes they are threatened by, your up-leveling and your glow up and whatnot. And sometimes that can be triggering to them if they haven't healed those parts of their shadow, right? So be careful of people negging you, giving you backhanded compliments to cut you down. Be careful of people undermining you, or be careful if someone has a motive and they can benefit from the advice they're giving you. Just be very discerning about what advice you're taking this month, including mine, including any reader. Like, whatever is like really resonates with you, hold on, but don't make yourself like try to make it work for you. It's only helpful if it really resonates. If not, then it's just like we're deceiving ourselves. Remember, like that card from over there. So, be more discerning than ever. This is a new life. This is a new way. So be mindful to pay attention, because now, people might mean well, but what resonated for you and what's really in alignment for you may be different than it used to be, right? So have sovereignty over your own mind, over your own spirit, over your own heart. Know yourself, know your mind, know your own goals and wishes and desires. Know who you are so that nobody can tell you who you are, and nobody can tell you what to do, right? Okay, so let's pull a couple of tarot cards to clarify this and just get some clarity and some conclusions. Ooh, 10 of Cups, love it. Queen of Cups, take care of yourself. Queen of Wands, ooh, 10 of Wands and King of Wands. Oh Lord, lots of people involved in this situation, or is it all of our different personalities and like our, I think this is like literally our path of transformation through this moon cycle. So 10 of Cups, there's a lot of potential harmony and fulfillment and long-term satisfaction that we can start building with this seed energy now. Fixed energy of Leo people, so long-term satisfaction is at hand. We have to be very mindful and intentional about what we're creating and what we really desire, and that we are doing things that are in alignment with taking, action, making decisions, speaking, thinking, all of that. We want it in alignment with what is going to bring us the ultimate fulfillment, right? And if that means restricting and saying no to things for immediate gratification in order to like hold out for like the high value thing, then we need to practice restriction and patience. We also need to make sure that we are setting up a life that takes care of and nurtures ourselves, right? Because the Queen of Cups is a very compassionate, empathic, and psychic, caring, giving listener. People come to the Queen of Cups for advice and for emotional reassurance and for that sense of nurturing and care. She's very motherly. She's very divine and feminine, very intuitive. But sometimes the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups loves being this, but she can sometimes become depleted because she's just giving and giving and giving, and she's such an empath that her boundaries are not solid, right? They're like the ocean coming in and out. And so she needs to get a little bit more solid there and make sure that she is taking good enough care of herself, keeping herself nurtured, keeping her soul nurtured, so that she can continue to be the bright light for divine, that she can keep that channel clear and not become depleted and feel resentful and defensive, right? Remember when we talked about Leo, when the world gets too demanding, Leo becomes defensive. Well, that's true for the Queen of Cups too, right? So we want to keep those boundaries strong, do plenty of self-care, but also take care to enhance our intuitive and psychic abilities and lean on those. Leo's also very instinctual. They can get those gut instincts and act on those really well. It's that fire in that sacral chakra that is coming through. When we are taking care of like the Queen of Cups in her highest in the highest way she shows up, then we become so much more charismatic, like the Queen of Wands, who is very similar to the Queen of Cups in that she can like juggle all these different parts of her life and feel a lot of willpower and a lot of drive, and she's very charismatic and attractive and confident while she's doing it. But she's also like learned how to master the self-worth of prioritizing her energy, her self-care, knowing how to set the boundaries so that she can know how much she can task juggle and still be able to do it and make it look effortless. She just doesn't take on more than she can handle, right? Here she holds the sunflower of awakened self-awareness, right? And willpower and drive and ambition and a sense of industry and courage and can-do-itness. But don't get too ahead of yourself and don't work yourself into like a rut again, because the 10 of Wands comes up and it can mean that you are trying too hard, you're forcing too much. Maybe you've overcorrected and put too much masculine energy into your efforts and you're not allowing enough. You're trying to push too hard. So don't overextend yourself. Don't try too hard. Don't push, because then that pushes the universe away. You need to balance the feminine and the masculine energies of allowing and taking action, being guided by the intuition and going with that and taking steps. But don't overwork yourself and don't do too much. Don't be the only one giving in the situation. Don't take on the whole workload. Don't overburden yourself. Also, if what you're doing isn't providing results, then pause and reevaluate. Don't keep doing something if it's more trouble than it's worth. Then, once we have integrated all of these energies, we have finally embodied like the divine masculine and brought that sense of industry and that balance of the feminine energy and the masculine together. And we have arrived at the King of Wands at the end of this moon cycle. And hopefully that will mean that we are like kind of the dominant captain of our industry, you know, titans. I can't remember, Lions of Industry is I think that the term I'm trying to think of. It's like right on the edge of my Titans of Industry. I don't know. I think that's maybe what I'm talking about. But yeah, so there's going to be some level of achievement or mastery by the time hopefully we get to that full moon and we can sit on our throne having like gained some level of like fixed progress that we can build on even further from there. The king also has a very developed sense of self. They have a very strong willpower. They have a sense of leadership and a very dynamic, commanding authority about them. They could also be temperamental and a little too firing and a little too stern sometimes. So be careful not to be like scary, fiery king, but rein it in. Balance it out with a little bit of cooling stones and crystals and silver metals. Balance out a little bit of the feminine energy within that masculine. Give it some structure. Give it some shape and boundary, so that it can feel safe to expand, knowing that it's contained, and giving it some kind of like intention and guidance and specificity. Okay, cool. Now let us pull one Angel Wisdom Tarot card. Ooh, renewal. Yes, feeling it already, y'all. This is the Judgment card in the tarot, and it's like, oh, I see it all so clearly now. I've seen the light. Now I can go forward and try it all again differently, knowing what I know now. This is great. This is like we've graduated, we've seen what we needed to see, and now we know what we need to do, and we can, now that we have this boon, we can go back to the village and put it to use. Now, see what moon card. See what the moon has to tell us. Get a little bit of advice from our moon oracle. Ooh, a time for healing. Balsamic moon. So we are definitely healing from the life that our past self had lived and created for us. Let's not take those scabs and scars with us and keep picking. Let's allow the healing to take place and start living from that place. Like if you catch yourself feeling like, oh, I don't want to do that because of this and they did this and it's always been like, then you're not allowing yourself to start living the healed version of you. I don't think that healing is a completely passive process. I think it requires that we show up and choose to start taking actions in the way that we want to move forward, even if we don't feel like it yet, or even if they don't necessarily jive up with our mood or our feelings of courage. Like courage is when we're scared, but like we know it's time and we know that it's the right thing and we do it, right? Feeling the fear, but know it, like not having any, I'm not going to say we don't have any doubts, but like, you know, when you feel fear because you know something's wrong, I'm not saying like do it anyway. I'm saying when you know something is right and you know that the timing is right also, but the fear is holding you back, like the courage then is like what you need to push forward. Okay, time for healing. So let yourself be healed. Be healed, brothers and sisters. Rise up, move forward anew. Empowerment. Our manifestation mermaids, magical mermaids and dolphins, empowerment. You're more powerful than you realize. It's safe for you to be powerful. This is a very Leo kind of message. It's like it's safe for you to be powerful. It's safe for you to be confident. It's safe for you to come out into the spotlight. And yeah, haters gonna hate and people are gonna troll, and that's fine. But like, who are they? Like, don't worry about them. Even if it's people in your life that you think that shouldn't be trolling you because they're close to you, they're just threatened or something, like, don't worry about it. Fuck those people. Love them. But you know what I mean? Like, you're the only one that's gotta live your life. So be empowered to be yourself. And if they're threatened by your empowerment, then that's not like them thinking about your best interests. That's them thinking about their best interests. So let them have their moment, and you're just transcending that moment, okay? And you just be empowered. You get out there and get them, Sasha Fierce. Okay, make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. All right, one of the things that I have noticed about Leos is that they are very decisive and they just like go for it. Like once they decide something, they're like, they've got that killer instinct to just take action and make it happen. Well, we are, given this advice that this is a physical issue and that taking action over the next couple of weeks is what we need to be focusing our energy into. And so in order to take action, we need to be decisive. So take your time, allow yourself the space to be discerning, and usually just allowing yourself that space and practicing being discerning and tuning in like speeds up that process at first, but don't rush it. And then once you have made a decision, be decisive and take action. Don't keep going back and forth in self-doubt. Trust yourself, trust your instincts, and take action. If it turns out it was a mistake, then fine. Like, just course correct, look back and think, okay, was there something nipping at me not to do that and I did it anyway? Like, go back and think, like, reverse engineer what happened. Accept heaven's help. This came up in our reading Tuesday, in our Totally Tuesday manifestation reading. Accept heaven's help. You've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. Remember, the shadow tendency of Leo is to prioritize everyone else, just like the Queen of Cups, right? To their own detriment, right? And it causes them to be like bitter and resentful about it. And so when you ask for help, be able to receive it. You want to open yourself up with feminine energy to receive. Someone who's overly masculine energy with no feminine energy is a giver, but they have a hard time receiving. Like Leo, pure masculine energy has a hard time receiving, right? And to their own detriment. Self-employment. If you have a side hustle or a dream, or like the thing that you're manifesting ties into like a business or some practice that involves putting your thing out in the world, this is going to be a good couple of weeks to put that out there and start putting a lot of effort and investing your time and your focus and your energy and your belief and your faith in it, and invest in yourself, right? So, good time to do it. A lot of good energy supporting that. All right, Romance Oracle, Romance Angels, what do we need to know about our romantic lives? Do we have any love? Do we have any romance happening? What do we need to be on the lookout for? What do we need to be aware of? What do we need to practice? What do we need to overcome? Let your friends help. All right, so talk to your friends about your love life. Maybe they know something you don't. Maybe a little birdie told them something. Maybe they have an insight that you don't have. Maybe they know something that you don't know. Whatever it is, let your friends help you, because it can either help you move the situation forward or it can help you move on from the situation. Let go of control issues. Maybe the reason why you haven't asked your friends to help you is because you're too afraid of what might happen and you're trying to control the outcome. So let go, give it a shot, and if you are this will help you overcome the deceit of not putting yourself out there and hiding yourself, right? And hiding your feelings and intentions by at least offloading them to a friend, right? So let go of control, let go of your grips of trying to hold on to the direction of the situation and just allow it to unfold and heal and dissipate, or at least let off some of the pressure. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So this could be maybe letting your friends help you with this. Letting go of the situation is facilitating a reconciliation. Well, I'd say that's good, right? Like, let's put the past behind us and heal and move forward. And then our last card is very soon. News cycles, you are abundant. Things are going well. It's a new life. It's a new world. Very soon, things will be different. And so what you need to do now is what it says, clearly decide what you want to come so that it can come to you now. Clearly decide what you want so that it can come to you now. All right. One last card from Mary, Mother Mary, Jesus' mom. Let's give her the last final say. Ooh, what does she have to tell us? Trust. She's always telling us this. Trust. I know that God, in his infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. And in fact, good reminder to say your prayers out loud every day. Accept heaven's help. Pray and trust. Trust that it's already taken care of. That if you have this deep, true desire in your heart, for some reason, there is already a future version of you that has already lived it. It's already true. It's in the vortex. You just have to align with that, right? We cannot receive, we cannot vibrate, we cannot resonate with what we are not, right? So when we visualize the already being and the having of it, we're training our nervous system to believe that we are already in the having of it, right? And so then our electromagnetic force field is putting out into the universe, I have this thing. Well, the universe is going to be like, oh, that's preposterous. You must actually have this thing. Here it is, right? So when we feel like we lack a thing and we're like, I want this thing, you're putting out into the universe that you lack the thing. And so you're getting more of what you are, which is in lacking of it. So dress rehearse, deep insanity, people go deeply insane with this. Dress rehearse the living and the having and the being of it, and trust in the truth of it, because that truth will become more and more material. The more that you surrender and give up control and believe and name it and claim it and believe to achieve and all those other things. All right, y'all. I am watching the storm come in. It's about to let loose. I'm going to start this upload and I might venture out to the store. I'm thinking about cooking tonight, but me and my BFF, we might go get shepherd's pies at the Eastside Bowl. Just depends. She was going to see if she had to work, but because of the rain, I don't think that it's a long story, but anywho, we'll see what happens. All right, you guys, good luck over the next couple of weeks. Do all of the things that we have talked about that we are assigned to do. Take those little actions today and like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment, tell me what you think, tell me what you're doing, what's going on, what's being manifested. Share this video everywhere it can get shared. And also go follow me at Liz_Taylor_Magick, Magic with the CK, just like this channel, over on Instagram. I do fun stuff over there and I do fun stuff in my stories. So join me in every way that you can. I have an email sign up in the link below. I don't really do a lot of emails. I need to start doing a few here and there again. But yeah, sign up for that. You'll hear about any news or anything that I'm cooking up behind the scenes. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.